Okay, good evening. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order at 5:34 p.m. If I can please have a volunteer to lead us in our opening ceremonies.
I can do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Commissioner, please, thank you.
Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Can we move on to the roll call?
Chairperson Santana,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Lovano,
Present.
Commissioner Carlin,
Present.
Commissioner Takayama,
Present.
and Commissioner Jimenez.
Present.
Thank you. We will now move to the correction of the agenda.
Chairperson, we have no corrections today.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll move into public comment.
Chairperson, at this time, the general public may address the commission committee on any items listed on the agenda, including items not listed on the agenda, which are known as non-agenda items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of this body. Please be aware that the maximum time allotted for members of the public to speak shall not exceed 3 minutes per person. State law prohibits the commission or committees here from taking action or entertaining extended discussions on topics that are not listed on the agenda. Please show courtesy to others and direct all your comments to the chairperson. And chairperson, we do have 2 speaker cards turned in just on time. If you'd like us to proceed.
Yes, with all speakers, we can proceed.
Okay, our first speaker is Dominique Preciado.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening, guys. My name is Dominic Preciado. I'm the principal of Our Lady of the Miracles Middle School, joined by some wonderful parents and students also. So we're reaching out today to kind of ask for support in possible ways or maybe people that you can connect us to in terms of advertising our first golf tournament. We need to fundraise for our school. We're in a bit of a deficit, so we're hoping that this could help us out. It is March 15th, so I brought flyers. We are looking for sponsors as well as people that'll play, and also just an advertisement for our school in general. So we have a really wonderful community. We just want to put the word out there and wanted to reach out to you to see if there are any resources that you can provide us with that.
Thank you so much. At this time, are we able to ask questions? Yes. Awesome. Do any commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
I'll go ahead and ask again just for me. I always want a little bit more clarification. Can you let us know again about your event?
Yes, it's a golf tournament. So all funds are going to go towards our school. We're trying to bridge that gap from profit and loss. So it's going to school just to keep our operations going, keep our school viable, our staffing model. So our event, yes, it is at the California Country Club in Whittier. It's $175 per golfer. And so we do have sponsors such as Chevrolet that are going to a hole-in-one sponsor for a car. So a lot of cool things, but we are looking for players, and just other sponsors, if available, within the city would help.
And then for point of clarification, March 15th?
Yes.
What time frame?
Good question. 8 a.m. is the registration, and then it's a shotgun start at 10 a.m. followed by happy hour, awards, and dinner.
Happy hour? Nice.
I know.
My last question will be, what are your sign-up dates? When is the last day that those are able to sign up? March 15th?
Yes.
That day. Okay, awesome. No other questions? Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we will see how we can support.
Thank you. Can I leave these here with you? Okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay, and then our next speaker is Margot Iser.
Well, hello there.
I didn't know it would be this formal and have such a huge place. I could even take notes. But I just wanted to say that I wanted to make sure that for the parks and recreation, that you keep on working with the tree people or started to working with the tree people. And that I could give it to them to start with this, also the California Native Plant Society, because the last remaining actual hills in Montebello are what used to be the golf course. It is now, and as I mentioned at the meeting, that whole area around the Noisy Cannon and the Scout Hut and the Home to Suites is oak woodland, and it's a very special ecosystem that's special, and that this group will help you discover. This is one of their brochures about how to get the gardens to be native plant friendly. So I'd like to turn that into the people to keep that going. And it has never been a country. And now it really shouldn't be really called a golf course in a way, because it's not really a golf course anymore. And maybe that name, the Golf Commission, will have to change a little bit, because they used to be very active. They taught kids how to play golf. And I have a bag full of golf balls I used to give them. But none of them are going to come back, because it's just a 9-hole, and that's not a real golf course. There's one in Monterey Park on top of a dump. And they're just more like pretend, just like that other thing is top of just entertainment venue with dancing and drinking. But for real outdoor recreation that's healthy for people and is to have nature. So if we could make our place a natural, it would be a big attraction with the north-south hills. And that's the one thing. And I like that. I think it's good that the city participates, that people participate, and that we just all keep everybody to do what the people need and what's good for the people, and asking them what kind of recreation activities and options they want. And the other commissions are important too, and I'm going to learn more about them tonight. And thank you very much for letting me speak. And it's nice to see all of you. I didn't know it would be so formal. It's great.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
I'll leave it back to the chairperson to take nominations for the golf committee. I could also answer any questions about that committee and its formation and its roles and duties if needed. Thank you.
Okay, seeing that we have the golf committee vacancies, are there any nominations?
Sure, I'd like to nominate Commissioner Sylvia Takayama. Her involvement in the community and what she does with her Girl Scouts, I think would be important to get her involved with the golf course.
Do you want there to be
Is
a
there
second?
a second?
Oh, I'll second that.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioner Jimenez. Seeing that there's a first and a second, is there any discussion? No? Awesome. Let's go ahead and all those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing that there's none, Commissioner Takayama, thank you for joining the golf committee. We do have a second vacancy as well.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Commissioner Carlin. I think he would be a strong person to be a part of this committee with me, and I would like to nominate him.
I second that.
Thank you, and second by Commissioner Jimenez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing that there's none, thank you. That is our second vacancy in the golf committee.
So Chairperson, if I may, so that just to confirm for the record, so Commissioner Carlin and Commissioner Takayama will make up the golf committee. Staff, Lori will reach out to schedule a meeting. As we get closer to the opening, there's some items to discuss. We're going to be adopting fees for the golf course here at the council level in March. We want to let the commission kind of see what the thought process is there. As you guys know, that's a city enterprise fund that has to kind of balance itself on this ledger. We just awarded a new contract for maintenance and operations. So while the committee won't make those level of decisions, we want to make sure there's buy-in from the community so you guys can see what the thought process is and give feedback. So we'll be in contact with you soon.
Okay, we're looking forward to that. And maybe in our first introductory meeting, you can just go over the history of the entire project before we start making decisions and moving in that ground. We could have the background. Thank you.
Okay, next item number 2, sports ad hoc committee meeting, programs ad hoc committee meeting, and special events ad hoc committee meeting recap.
Chairperson, members of the commission, today's just item number 2 is basically a recap of the ad hoc committees, which we'll be seeing with the golf committee in the future. Back in January, at the end of January, the three ad hocs that are listed on the item met with staff. There's a staff report that kind of discusses what some of the discussions were. The sports ad hoc committee specifically looked at some of the processes that the city goes through to verify some of what we call the co-sponsored sports organizations. If you're from Montebello, you're aware that the Montebello AYSO, 1065, Montebello Indians Youth Football and Cheer, Montebello Baseball Association, Montebello Golden State Basketball, they are what we call co-sponsored sports organizations, and what that means, they have to meet several requirements for that co-sponsorship, and it's the city's commitment to have youth sports in the city, essentially free of charge for the organizations. They charge what they charge for their program, but it's to supplement city programs. So we don't do tackle football or a robust cheer program, so that's why we have that. We don't do a huge soccer program like AYSO with Spring Select and all those things. So that's why we have these sports organizations. So that committee met. They were informed and educated on that process. A lot of the paperwork is coming together now with the Baseball Association for the spring sport, and we'll be going back to the sports subcommittee to essentially verify and bless that their paperwork is legit and ready to go for the season. That's very important because if not, they would have to pay a substantial amount for field usage if they don't meet those requirements. Special Events Committee just meets on what's upcoming special events, give the commission a broad overview of what's coming up. And the last was the Programs Committee. On that one, just something of note, new program was discussed by staff with the subcommittee. That's up for discussion today with the commission if they so choose, and I'll read from the agenda report. The Programs Ad Hoc Committee discussed current ongoing programs, including childcare and senior programming. The committee also discussed a proposed new program that aims to honor Montebello veterans and active or retired service members. The City Park Veterans Memorial Wall, the monument, has served as a space to honor Montebello residents who were either killed in active combat and or active duty. In recent years, the city has received requests from residents for a space to honor Montebello service members who are not lost in active combat. So the commission and staff, or the committee and staff, met and discussed different types of alternatives. We just want to put that in the report there. If there's any action by the commission or direction to staff, we'll take it at this time. But that sums up our report for item number 2, and we can answer any questions if there are.
I'll leave this open to any commissioners. Does anyone have any questions?
I do have a question,
Go ahead.
Chairperson. Director, looking at the report, what would be the next steps, or what can we do from our end to see how we can push to make that monument for the veterans at one of our parks?
Thank you, Commissioner. Good question. So right now it's basically conceptual, right? We had an idea. We discussed with the commission what the thought process is. There's a whole process to make a new program for the city in general. Specifically, this would be a commission action item that we could work together on. So to start off with, this subcommittee could put together the protocols and procedures to go onto this future monument. For staff, what we'd like to do, or what we need to do, is find that space. So we have landscape architects on what we call like a landscape bench through the Public Works Department. Essentially, what my action would be to talk to the city manager about would be to hire one of those firms to put a real high-level conceptual plan together to what we could do at City Park per the commission's direction at a lower cost than doing actual plans and specs and engineering and all that stuff. So that'd be my recommendation for high level, but work with the commission on putting the protocols together, the procedures, how we honor those veterans, which veterans we're trying to capture. But for staff to see what's feasible at the park, right? Since the park was identified by members of the residents and the commission, we'd like to flesh that out better and to give a better answer to the commission of what's feasible. So to answer your question, work on the program and also hire a landscape architect to design something.
Thank you, Director.
All right, what a great question. Thank you so much. Seeing that there was that question, is there any nominations for us to proceed?
Chairperson, you mean to approve it, or?
Yes, if we can approve the staff to continue, right?
Chairperson, yeah, the commission could direct staff to explore it, like as I mentioned, if that's the will of the commission. We'll definitely put that together. There'll be potentially items that need to get approved. City manager, maybe council, depending on the cost, right? But with the commission's direction, we'll move that direction.
Chairperson, in that case, I do make a nomination that we can pursue this to.
Thank you for making that
Direct
first.
staff.
I appreciate that. Is there a second?
I can second that.
Thank you, Vice Chair. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. So moved. Lastly, we have the approval of minutes for our action items from May 18th, 2023. Is that correct? I'm sorry, multiple minutes.
Chairperson, as it stated, this is just to approve the meeting minutes as provided in the agenda packet. If there's any questions about the meetings, we could answer those.
Okay, so following staff recommendation, it would be to just approve these, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, I can make the recommendation to approve these minutes. Can I get a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Commissioner. Can I get all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you so much. We approve these minutes. Next, we have staff communication.
Chairperson, members of the commission, today we won't be announcing every single program. We will plug our recreation guide with the hopes that all the commissioners want to make it down to the community budget meeting going on at the senior center today. There's another opportunity for that next Wednesday at Reggie Rodriguez Park. Put my new colleague here on the spot. We actually want to introduce you to our new recreation manager, Veronica Ramirez, joins us with many years of experience in some other cities, and we're excited to have her here to join the team and bring her expertise to the team. So join me in welcoming Veronica.
Welcome, thank you. Next, I'll move on to commission or committee orals. Does anybody want to go first?
I would like to go. I just want to make an announcement. Of course, it's that time of the year, and I am the Girl Scout leader of Troop 71221. I would like to go ahead and let you know it is Girl Scout cookie time. So please feel free to reach out to us, and you'll see us around the community this coming weekend for the boothing.
All right, thank you for sharing. Would any other commissioner like to present? Go ahead, Vice Chair.
I want to express my gratitude to the Parks and Recs employees. I did attend the Valentine's inclusive, the adaptive inclusive recreation. We didn't get a good turnout, but it's barely the beginning. But I like that they're dedicated, that they're doing their best to make sure that everything's good for the individuals attending the dance or the events. Also for this month, on the 22nd, like to my other job, we were working with different agencies and different park agencies. So we're gonna create like a club or something that we're gonna talk about inclusive sports and activities throughout LA County. So there's gonna be individuals from different parks or different cities and just sharing information. That way, like not just one park keeps all the information or resources, they're gonna be sharing all those resources, but specifically for people with disabilities. Yeah, so I'll forward that to David and his staff. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do, Chairperson. Just a quick announcement, and for my colleagues, but also those residents watching at home, the Montebello Shia Sister Association, they do have their applications out for the 2024 Student Exchange Ambassador Program. It's one of the great programs that we have here in our community, so it is for students 15 to 18. You do have to be a Montebello resident, so I know the association has been posting it. I'll be posting it and sharing it too. Hopefully my colleagues can help me spread the message as well. Thank you.
Yes, I have a few items. First, I'd just like to just like to recognize that 9 members of the Los Angeles Fire Department today were severely injured, one being critically injured. And one of those 9 members was a former Montebello Fire Department member. So this touches close to home, and I just like to recognize that first responder type work is dangerous and serious, and it's very important that we support our first responders throughout the region. I'm looking at my notes, and I see that our last meeting was November 16th. And I'm a little disappointed that we missed so much time. Now, I understand December was very busy, but in January, I think it's important that we stay on track, stay on task, and have meetings that the community can come to rely on. So I'm really urging Director Sosnowski, if at all possible, to continue to have meetings and not skip. Regardless if there's an agenda item or not, there's just so much that we can just go over, have opportunity to listen to our community, and I'd rather not miss any meetings if at all possible. With that being said, I'd like to say Merry Christmas. We missed Christmas, and the tree lighting ceremony was wonderful. At the same time, there was also a change in our city, leadership. And I know that was facilitated by Parks and Recs in a big amount, so I want to say thank you again to you and your staff for making that all happen. We also welcomed a new city manager. I hope you and the city manager are doing well together and building a relationship that fosters the Parks and Rec and all that we do for the community. I also would like to recognize that I've heard twice now, being a commissioner, that the Montebello Baseball Association is complaining that they're not safe. I know the gentleman came up early when I was first nominated and said that the baseball parks were not safe, that there was problems in the dugout. And then most recently in a city council meeting, I think the president of the Baseball Association stepped up and said something. And I'd like to make a formal request, if we could, to direct the police department, if at all possible, for extra patrol in and around the baseball fields, especially at times when our youth are going to be taking on events, whether that's practice or actual games or tournaments. So if we can make a note and just contact the police department, have increased visibility, increased patrols, especially those times of increased use. And then lastly, I'd like to make a motion, and I'm asking for support from my colleagues for only a report. Director Sosnowski, if you could create a report and let us know the feasibility of bringing back the parade to Montebello. I understand we had our Oktoberfest. That was one of the last times we talked about it, was in November. But going forward, I'd like to see our parade come back. There's such a great community here, and we should celebrate all the different clubs, all the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, our schools get involved, and I would just like to see that come back. Now, I don't know if it's feasible, so if you could provide a report, do some research, come back with some real takeaways on the pros and cons of the ability to have a parade in Montebello to celebrate our community. And then I would like to take this forward and bring it to City Council if at all possible. So I'd like to make a motion, and I'm asking for support from my colleagues, if we could go forward to direct the director to report on the feasibility of bringing back the parade to Montebello.
Okay, hearing a motion, are we able to make a motion under this item?
Yes, the commission can make a motion to direct staff to explore and probably clarify a little bit on what the report would entail, just more cost or history of it. Just want to make sure we meet the requirement of the commission.
Thank you. I will ask Commissioner Carlin to clarify his motion.
Okay, then just brainstorming with you right here, right now. Let's go over the history of the parade. When was it ceased? When did it cease, and for what reasons? I know it came back, and then I think it ceased again. So the overall history of the parade?
Sorry, I'm going to call point of order. Just the motion will be for us to create a report. With this information.
So with this information, talking about the history of the parade, and then the budgetary constraints, and then any pros or cons as to why we can't continue this.
And the feasibility of it restarting.
Thank you, yes.
Awesome. I heard it first. Thank you, Commissioner. Can I get a second?
I second it.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing that there's none, yes, if we can please have that report or some sort of feedback for us, that'd be great, especially as so many of these commissioners, so many of us are participating, and we want to support our community in participating more. So thank you. I'll go ahead and wrap up. Commissioner, I'm sorry, is there any more? Sorry.
No, that was it. That was my last and final request. Thank you.
Thank you. Just kind of wrapping up, Commissioner orals, I just wanted to say Happy New Year's to everybody, Parks and Rec, Commissioner, staff, everybody. Thank you so much. And I'm really excited to participate in our city planning meeting that's taking place over a couple days span, starting tonight, I believe, 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock, it's starting right now. Awesome, so I'm sure I'll see some of you over there. But really, our city's really going in a great direction, and it's the commissioners that are up here, it is the directors, it is the staff, it's the team, everybody. So I do really want to say thank you to everybody and Happy New Year. Next, we will move to adjournment. Can I please get a motion for adjournment?
I make a motion.
Awesome, is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing that there's none, we are adjourning at 6:02 p.m. Thank you.